Hey, it's Amy. I'm here at the Fort Wilderness Resort, and I'm going to give you a tour of the property so that you can see what staying here is like and decide for yourself if this is a DVC property that you might want to stay at. So I'm standing in front of the Fort Wilderness Reception Outpost, which is right at the front of the resort. When you arrive at the resort, you'll see over there is the entrance gate that you'll drive through, and then this road that winds through here, and then you'll come in here, and if you need to come and check in, you can park here and you will come into this building to check in. If you are not checking in and you are not renting a golf cart, you can just go right to your cabin if you've gotten a notification that it's ready. But you're gonna want to come through here, park your car over here, and come through here to check in. And to, if you walk through this building, you will walk out to where the golf cart rental pickup is. So I'll take you through there so you can take a look. It's a really big property, so to just give you an idea of where everything is, we are standing right here at the reception outpost, and if you turn to the right, you can see here the Tri-Circle D Ranch trail rides. The stables are over there. I'll bring you for a closer look in a minute when I hop onto my golf cart, which I have already rented, but there's also a bus stop over there, which brings people to the theme parks, and there's an internal bus loop that you can catch over there to bring you throughout the resort, because like I said, it's really big. So you'll definitely need to, unless you park your golf cart, because there is golf cart parking over there. If you rent a golf cart, you can drive over to that bus stop so that you can head over to the theme parks without having to take an internal bus loop. But the DVC cabins are all of the cabins currently are in the 2000 loop. So that's this whole area here. And then the rest of these areas are either campgrounds, like pop-up tent grounds, or mostly for RV camping. So you can see those all the way up towards what most people are probably most familiar with, which is when you take the boat from Magic Kingdom, which comes over here, and then Pioneer Hall, which is where Hoop-De-Doo Review is, and the Settlement Trading Post, which is a merchandise shop. But I'll take you over there, but it's really a straight shot. We're gonna take the golf cart. It's gonna come all the way down where that dotted line is, that brings you, sorry for my shadow, brings you back here. One thing to note, and I am going to bring you, but over in this meadow area, this is where all of the resort activities take place. It's where the main pool is, and it's where they have their campfires. You can rent bicycles. There's a swimming pool with a water slide. There's tennis courts. I'll bring you over there because there's a ton to do over there. But there's also in that 2000 loop, right in between the 2700 loop and the 2500 loop, there is a quiet pool. Another thing to note about this resort and what people feel kind of, a little tepid about is the fact that there is no in-unit laundry, but anywhere on this map where you see CS, that stands for Comfort Station, they all have restrooms and laundry. So there are a ton of laundry facilities located throughout Fort Wilderness. They are pretty much, there's like one per loop for the RVs. There is only one in the cabin loop area, and it's right at the quiet pool. So just something to note for future, if you want to be staying near the quiet pool and near the Comfort Station, 2500 is the best one to request, or 2600 because it's just right across the street. This one, it looks close. I mean, it is close, but you do kind of have to come out here. There is like this basketball court area over here, but you'd need to walk through some grass and mud, and definitely not a paved path over there. But I'm going to take you to take a look at all of this. So come along on my golf cart with me to take a ride. Before I take you down to the loops, I wanted to just come over here by the golf cart parking for the bus and for the ranch for the trail rides. So I wanted to show you how people decorate their golf carts, which is really fun here. It's also a really easy way to tell which one is yours because they all look alike. If you do not take decorations, I recommend taking a picture of the number on the back of your golf cart so you remember which one is yours. But this is where you catch the theme park buses. That is a bus heading to Epcot right now. I don't know if you can tell because the sun's kind of in the way. And there's some bike racks over here because you can also rent bikes, or if you bring your own bike, you could ride your bike down here and park your bike over here. But I'm going to take a walk over to the horses so we can check those out. This right here is my ride. They're really fun to ride, I'm not gonna lie. Being able to rent one of these is definitely a fun reason to stay here. It's just a really fun way to get around, and so nice to not have to navigate a bus loop. So I'm gonna get on and take you to the cabin. This is the cabin that I'm staying in, and we're just going to overlay a picture of what the concept art for the new DVC cabins is, so that you can get a kind of an idea of the, you know, just exactly how it's going to be situated. So this is, I from the pictures, it's hard to tell. It looks like they are going to have like more of a flatter roof, where this one is more slanted, but you've got the deck, which those will continue to have, and you've got the grill right here, and you've got your there's enough room for a car there and for your golf cart. So as you can see, there are other cabins that have a car and a cart. Did I say a cabin? I meant a golf cart. There's room for a car and a golf cart. It's a lot of C words. And this is the view. So you're really just kind of in the woods. So I'm going to bring you in, not so much for a tour of the current cabin, but because the size is going to be similar, because they, as you can see, these are just placed right here on these like concrete slabs. These are going to be removed, and they're just going to put those other prefabbed cabins on here. And so the footprint is going to be the same, but I just want to show you the difference in layout. And I actually think that they were really smart with the changes that they decided to make in terms of the layout. But just wanted to give you a view from up here. You've got the picnic table, which looks like they're still going to have outdoor furniture so that you can grill out here and have a little cookout. We were going to have one last night, but the weather was not great, so we ended up going to Crockett's for dinner. But as you can see, it's just really peaceful and quiet back here. So we'll go ahead into the room. So when you enter these cabins, you've got the kitchen right in front of you, but really you've kind of got this wall where the refrigerator is, and this utility closet that's right in the center of the cabin. So when you walk in, you've got the kitchen in front of you. You've got the stove top, and that's a microwave / convection oven. And then you've got the living space to the right. And to the left, you've got the bathroom, which is a pretty decent size. You've got some, it's only in here, it's only a single sink with some nice counter space. And you've got your shower, toilet. And then as you leave the bathroom to the right, you come into the bedroom, which has the larger bed. This is a queen size bed, I believe, which I slept in, so sorry for the mess. And you've got the bunk beds over here with an end table in the middle. Interestingly, instead of having a closet with doors, that's a bump out that has a curtain. And then you've got this little chest of drawers where the TV is. And then over here, you've got one that has a mirror. Hey, Gurmy. This down here does not open, so we're thinking that there's probably like some plumbing back there that they have buried there. But that is the current layout. So what I think that they are doing in the new ones, in the new DVC cabins that they're building, which is really smart to make the space, I assume that the space is going to be similarly sized as this, but they're taking that bed and they're placing it up against that wall. And they're taking these bunk beds and putting it on like along the shorter wall, which will presumably give you more space here. I mean, I in the concept art, you can't see the whole bedroom, but it does look like they're putting a chest of drawers over here, and the TV will be over here. And I think that they're losing this door so that you get more wall space in this room. Not exactly sure what they're doing about a closet. I don't know if they're going to do that same concept as they do here, which is just like a bump out with a curtain. But I guess that remains to be seen. But I do think that the way that they have reimagined the space for the bedroom in the new cabins makes a lot of sense. And then when you come into the new cabins, assuming that, you're walking right into the center of the cabin, rather than having this kind of this space that's really a waste of space because you've got all whatever like the utilities are for the unit in there, you're walking in and you're gonna walk into this like joint living space. So all of the living space is going to be kind of like right in front of you, and then all of this kitchen space is going to be moved over to the right, and then you're going to have your bathroom all the way at the end. I guess that is going to be the bathroom will be at kind of like what is like the front of the cabin, but presumably they will also put the utility closet over there so that you're not losing space in the middle of the cabin to create this like long narrow hallway. It'll be much more open concept than what they currently have. So I think that makes sense. I also think that the ceilings are going to be higher. Last night I had Kathleen and Scott and Shelly and Curtis and Jacqueline from the DVC Clubhouse group over. We played Cards Against Humanity at this table, and it was not suitable for video, but it was a lot of fun. And Shelly was commenting on how in order to have like a Murphy bed, they're not going to be able to have these kind of like vaulted type ceilings, and they're not going to be able to have these beams, which you can't really see in the concept art, but we're imagining that the ceilings are going to feel taller in here as well. So it won't feel, I would imagine that the new cabins are going to feel a little bit more spacious than what these currently feel, which by the way, don't feel small. But I think that they probably really thought about how they can maximize the space. Here's just a different angle. I mean, you can really see these have a nice amount of space. And I know that a big complaint for people is that they don't want to sleep in the same room as their kids. But when you think about the points chart, if you could get a cabin for 15 points, which is fewer than a lot of studios, you can still put your kids to bed and hang out in the living space and have, just some time where your kids go to bed and you can hang out and relax, and then go to bed, which is, it's nice. That's nicer than a studio, because once the kids need to go to bed, everyone has to go to bed. So this at least gives you some space to be able to put them to bed, close the door, and then hang out in the adult space. These were really cute. When I picked up my golf cart, they gave me these. What they'll do is, if you have a Sharpie, you can write your name on it and put it on the golf cart, so that if you don't bring something to decorate your cabin, you can still remember which one is yours because you can put your name on it. So now I'm going to take you on a ride down to the two different kind of like recreation areas of the resort. The meadow area where the main pool is and where the activities take place, and the down by Pioneer Hall. the back doors of that the trading post. You come back to this little patio area, and across the water there is the bike barn where you can rent your bikes. And if we walk over this way, over that bridge, that'll bring us over to the pool area. Just take another angle of that. It is really beautiful here, very peaceful. I mean, you almost forget that you're in Florida, especially today. It's pretty cool. I probably wouldn't forget that it was Florida if it was August. I would definitely not forget then. But right now it's like 50 degrees or something, and maybe a little warmer now that the sun is up. But it's just so beautiful. I mean, look at that. And then once you pass over that bridge, you can see the splash area. That looks fun for kids, especially on a hot day. There's a lot of water features in that splash area. And then you can also rent fishing gear at the bike barn to go fishing. And if you go to this website, takemefishing.org, it tells you all about the fish that you can catch at Disney. Look how cute this is. And then if you continue down the path this way, you come to the Meadow swimming pool, which again is kind of like the feature pool, because this pool has a snack stand and a water slide. So I guess that makes it the feature pool, because the other pool, the Wilderness pool, does not have a slide, nor does it have a snack stand. But over here you've got a pool table, you've got your drinks for your refillable mugs and stuff over there. Table tennis over here. This resort also has a ton of activities, and yesterday when we were walking around, people really take advantage of the amenities. I mean, we saw people playing basketball, we saw people at the playgrounds. I mean, the playgrounds were packed. This is closed right now. But during the day they have some like small, like lunchy type foods, like sandwiches and some snack type stuff, and beverages. You can get cocktails here. And here is one of the resort arcades. There's another one up by Pioneer Hall, but the pool is closed right now, so I can't go in. But you can see the actually, maybe it's not closed. I'm gonna try to go in. Well, great news. It just turned 10 o'clock and the pool just opened. So I was able to come in to get a closer look at this pool area, which has a ton of seating. Morning, how are you? Good. And then there is the slide. Again, I wish I could go down, but it is way too cold to go into the pool today, so this will have to wait for another time. But you know, this isn't a crazy slide, but it's definitely more than a scooch, so I think it looks pretty fun. But overall, this is a pretty nice pool area, to be honest. And over on the other side of the pool, you've got the hot tub. There's just another angle. And then in the distance, there's another playground. There's playgrounds all over Fort Wilderness. And there's volleyball. And then through here, you've got tennis courts. And then there's a
another area where you can grill, and there's a bunch of picnic tables. So if you wanted to come, I would imagine that this would probably be really useful for the people who are staying in RVs, but anybody who wanted to come and grill and have a big party, maybe a future clubhouse weekend. So now I'm going to take you over to the Pioneer Hall area so we can check that out. Okay, so I just parked my golf cart, and as you can see, golf cart parking is right across from Pioneer Hall, which is where Hoop-De-Doo is, and it's probably what most people are familiar with at Fort Wilderness. Right next to Pioneer Hall, where Hoop-De-Doo is, you've got Trails End, which is the quick service restaurant here. And then there in the distance you can see the sign for Crockett's Tavern. There is a window over there where you can order drinks, or you can go into those doors right there. And Crockett's is table service, so it's a lounge and there is a food menu, so you can sit down and you'll be served there. So you do have a couple of different options here for food. And also, there's not one here now, but they also will occasionally have food trucks here. So I'm going to bring you in to take a look at Trails End so you can see what that looks like inside. Now this area down here is the seating for Crockett's. You see you've got the bar over there. It's closed right now. It doesn't open until 3, but this is roped off because they don't want people from Trails End coming down here to sit. But they've got TVs here. They've got a full bar. And like I said, they've got some food items. And we did come here to eat, so look out for the STD, the Scott's Tips for Dining video that we did. A bunch of us came here last night and grabbed some food and some drinks. This is the front porch area, which overlooks Bay Lake. I don't know if you can see through the trees in the distance, but there's Bay Lake Tower right there. And in the distance over there, you've got the boats, which will take you over to Magic Kingdom. And here is the Crockett's to-go window that I was pointing out before. Here's the menu. And you can order your drinks here from 3 to 10. And then again, I looped around. That over there is where Hoop-De-Doo is. And then over there, you've got the Settlement Trading Post, which is another store with Disney merch and just the same stuff that you saw at the other Meadow Trading Post that has the stuff for grilling and cooking and anything that you might need for that. So I'm gonna take a walk over to the boat launch so you can see that, and then take a walk down to where the bus stop is for this area too. Sorry, I keep getting my finger in the video. I mean, this is probably one of the most, if not the most scenic resorts on Walt Disney World property. And it just smells really good here. Like, you smell the trees, and this is not the type of thing where like they're pumping in a smell here. This is real and authentic. You are like in nature here. So some people might think that's a great thing. Others might think it's a not great thing, but I love it. I think that this is such a great resort. It is so different from any other place. I feel like this is a resort that you want to come to if you want to get more out of your Disney vacation than just theme parks, because you can rent boats here, you can go horseback riding here, you can go fishing here. They've got the campfire sing-along every night. They've got movies every night, and I know a lot of those other resorts do too, but I don't know, there's just something about kind of like the vibe of this place that just makes you feel like you're at a resort, like you're really at a campground that is not, because that's what it is. I mean, this really is a campground that people come and camp at and bring their RVs. And so there's amenities here that you would find at any campground across the country. And as I said earlier, when we were walking around, like everyone was using the amenities. The playgrounds were just covered with kids. We saw people playing volleyball. This is a really fun place if you are an active family and if you have kids that need to burn off energy, just to come here and be able to take advantage of all that this resort has to offer. And over here is the Settlement Trading Post. I don't think this opens until 11. It's funny because before I stayed here, I thought this was the only shop. But now that I've stayed here and I realize that that meadow area where that Meadow Trading Post is, that's really kind of more of like the hub of the resort, because it's so centrally located to all of the different loops that are situated throughout the resort. So this one is the Settlement Trading Post, as you saw on that map that I showed you earlier, is at the complete opposite end of the front of the resort. And the Meadow Trading Post is right in the center of the resort. So that's why this, I guess it's not open, because they figured if people need anything, they'll go there. And probably this Settlement Trading Post is meant more for people who are coming from Magic Kingdom to Fort Wilderness for the day, to like maybe go to Hoop-Dee-Doo. And so this one is open later in the day. But that was something that I discovered. I did not realize that. So the more you know. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back at Hoop-Dee-Doo, and I'm going to show you where the bus is. So if you took the internal bus loop from the cabins, you would take the bus to this bus stop if you wanted to come down here to the Settlement Trading Post or to the boats or to any of the food options. And you know, I was just thinking about the time when before COVID, the before times, when not only was there Hoop-Dee-Doo, but there was also Mickey's Backyard Barbecue. So I'm curious to see once the DVC cabins open, if they do anything different over here, if they bring back Mickey's backyard barbecue, or if they continue to have those food trucks to have additional food offerings, because while there will be 350 DVC cabins, there will still be the RV campgrounds and pop-up tent campgrounds. So this is the Settlement Bus Depot, as you can see. Oh look, that bus goes to Wilderness Lodge. And then through here you have the Tri-Circle D Ranch. So we just came from here all the way down there, and we'll take a walk over here. So here's the Tri-Circle D Ranch. This is where during the holidays, if you do a carriage ride, it leaves from here and then it takes you through the different loops, particularly the RV loops, because people decorate. There are people who come and stay for like the entire month of December, and they put up giant inflatables. I think I might have some video from a previous trip where I did that I can link or include in here. But that's Samson. Hi, Samson. This is just another cool part of this resort that I just feel like, again, I know that there are a lot of people who think that this is a moderate resort and that they would never want to stay here or buy a contract here. But there is so much here, so much to do here, and so much to see. And I think kids absolutely love it. And if you're a family that likes to kind of do something different from the parks, this resort gives you a lot of options. So it really is a fun place to stay. I have really, really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna head back to my golf cart now, and I'm going to drive back over to the quiet pool, which is called the Wilderness Pool, which I guess essentially is gonna be the Disney Vacation Club pool, because once they convert all of those cabins to the new cabins for DVC, that is the pool that will be closest to those cabins. So yes, that will be the DVC pool. And then I'm also going to show you the laundry room that's over there. So I've just parked here at the Wilderness Swimming Pool. And that right across the way is the 2600 loop. The 2500 loop is right there. That's where I'm staying. And that building right there there are restrooms there, but the entrance to the laundry room is on the other side over there, which I'll show you next. But just to come over here to give you a quick look at the pool. So that was the pool. As you can see, it's just kind of a basic pool. It's got a hot tub. There's a vending machine there. And assuming that the amenities all stay the same, like I said, this will probably just become known as the DVC pool. It's technically called the Wilderness Pool. And here's the Wilderness Laundry. And these cabins are part of the 2500 loop. So I counted 9 washing machines and 12 dryers. But like I said, there are laundry facilities all throughout this property. So if you if you rent a golf cart and these are being used, you could drive around to the different laundry rooms and see if any of them are available, which I imagine most people would think is a little bit annoying because you're kind of far for checking. But if you are a family who really likes to do laundry, while it may not be in the unit, there are ample laundry facilities here at Fort Wilderness. Something to note if you do rent a golf cart is that they are all electric and the cabins have a place for you to charge them. So you just back up into your spot and plug them in. So I imagine that the new cabins will be equipped with the same type of setup for your golf cart. But overall, that's what it's like staying here. So that wraps up my tour of Fort Wilderness. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions, any feedback. If you've stayed here, let us know what you thought. Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, which is DVC Clubhouse, on Instagram, TikTok. Give us a like and a subscribe here. Tune into our podcasts, which you can find everywhere you listen to podcasts every Monday. And until next time, we'll DVC you real soon.